Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. This month, we will complete a year of One with Ones. And I have enjoyed this so much. We have started One with Ones on Monday nights in our parenting culture space. In a recent One with One, a seeker was asking for some reflections on comparison. How to slow and stop comparing herself to that person and this person. How many of you can relate to this? You have a comparison problem. I was sharing with her that when you compare, this triggers competition. Competition triggers jealousy, and jealousy triggers insecurity. As she was listening to me, she had shared, this is like her own personal ladder of fall. In the Bhagavad Gita, it starts with distraction. This is her own personal ladder of fall. Now, comparing is a symptom. If there's a symptom, there has to be a source. The source of comparing is separation. You don't compare yourself to yourself because there's no separation. You would go to the extent of comparing yourself to your own parent because there is a sense of separation. In Meaningful Mornings, we certainly address the symptoms, but we're investing more on the source so that there are no symptoms. If separation is the disease, the cure is oneness. This is especially relevant today. I wish all of you a joyous Yugadi. The word Yugadi means Yuga Adi. Yuga can mean year, as many of you interpret, but Yuga really means a period, and Adi means beginning. The fuller philosophical meaning is today should be the beginning of Satya Yuga, the period where you live by an ideal. That's why in early January, I said, it's only a new year if there's a new you. If you're not you, we're just older then. Today is especially important also because today Chinmay Mission Cleveland will begin to own its own home, its own ashram. In less than 8.5 years, this smaller-ish city has hosted the Marriage Enrichment Retreat, Puja Swami Srubananda, and will now have an ashram without any debt. And all of this was done in a short period of time. When we grow beyond our individual home, that is the body, and grow beyond our familial home, that's where Vivek is sitting, into a communal home. A home where every generation feels they're coming to unity. This makes me very happy because it's oneness in practice. I'm shifting my investment from my individual home to my family home to my communal home. Ideally, this should be everyone's trajectory in every city. To celebrate what Chinmay Mission Cleveland has done, 2 months from now, that is on Sunday, May 21st, we are going to celebrate Tattva, which means elements to oneness. We feel the elements are separate, but really their source is oneness. Join us for this. Details about this are on Chinmay Mission Cleveland's website, maybe in the chat. One more special thought for all of you. We're going to be celebrating Earth Day in 1 month. That's April 22nd, and Arbor Day on April 28th. Last year, our community planted over 1,100 trees, I believe mostly in America. Why shouldn't we do this every year? So we're beginning our initiative to plant and support the planting of trees today, with the culmination being on April 28th. If you see in the chat, and this will be on our website, this year the trees that we're trying to facilitate, we'll plant them in North America, but we'll support them being planted in Africa. And this helps to absolve hunger and poverty. Please be part of all of these celebrations. Yugadi, Chinmay Mission Cleveland's ashram, our tree planting. In the introduction to chapter 12, Pujya Swami Chinmayananda has written, once fully convinced by the double process of analysis and synthesis, discussion and a demonstration of the same, Arjuna's intellect surrenders totally with an aspiration to realize and become the spirit. What Pujya Swami Chinmayananda is sharing here is how first generation seekers must be invested in. They are intellectual, and so we need to work with them on their terms, in an intellectual fashion, in a knowledge fashion, not emotional and ritualistic. That will not work for this generation. One who is convinced is a greater seeker than one of blind faith. Once that intellectual personality is addressed, then one can work with faith. We have to grow from logic to faith. That is what chapter 12 is about. Prince Arjuna has listened carefully to Sri Krishna for many chapters, and he begins this chapter asking about, whom should I love, infinity or divinity? That's verse 1. In verse 2, Sri Krishna shares, engage in upasana. He doesn't specify infinity or divinity, he only shares engage in upasana. Another word for upasana in reference to Bhagavad Gita is bhakti. Upasana in the Veda, bhakti in Bhagavad Gita, this is to lead to jnana, which means knowledge. Specifically, the knowledge that you are infinite. Chapter 13 onwards, the focus is asi, in English, are. Upasana bhakti leads to knowing you are infinity. In verse 2, Sri Krishna expresses to engage in upasana, one needs to have shraddha, needs to be filled with faith. Shraddha means to hold on to. How do you know if you're holding on to? You let go without you announcing that you've let go. Letting go is not a karma. It's not a ritual. It's a very natural, quiet process. And I'll deepen this even more. How do you know if you're holding on to? How do you know if you're filled with faith? You are not affected by what you no longer are holding on to. If you have let it go, you're not affected by it. If I come to your home and pull your hair, are you going to be affected by it? Yes. If I come to your home and there's some hair on the ground and I pull that, are you going to be affected by it? Yes, you'll be thinking, Vivekji, what are you doing in our home and why are you pulling this hair? So these are ways you know that you have this faith. Sharing more from Pujya Swami Chinmayananda. Fixing their thoughts on me. Thought is the content of our subtle body. Both the mind and intellect are nothing but thoughts. It is not sufficient if they leisurely wander around the concept of the Lord, but they have actually to penetrate, delve into, merge, and ultimately dissolve themselves to become the very ideal perfection which the Lord represents. What you're thinking about has to be backed with faith so that you develop into that. With dedication, we change who we are. This is the transition to asi, changing who you are. In fact, human thought takes the form of, gathers the fragrance of, and even puts on the glow of the qualities and the objects of its contemplation. As you think, so you develop. If what I've shared thus far in today's Meaningful Mornings, or this summary of chapter 12, verse 1, 2, is unclear, what Sri Krishna is sharing, and I've shared in a single word, is unitask. By unitasking, you understand and appreciate the power of your thinking. We continue to verse 3, for which I would like for all of you to close your eyes. This verse is most contemplative. Close your eyes, listen to the Sanskrit, then the English, and it's lovely to see how much you're unitasking. Everyone's writing joy through Zoom, through Facebook, through Instagram. Verse 3. Ye tvaksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gammachintyam cha utastam achalam dhruvam. Your eyes are still closed. I'm reading the translation. After you contemplate on these words today, I'll explain more tomorrow. Those who worship the imperishable, the indefinable, the unmanifest, the omnipresent, the unthinkable, the unchangeable, the immovable, and the eternal. Prince Arjuna's question, you can open your eyes now. Prince Arjuna's question was, which should I think about? Which should I love, the infinite or the divine? Sri Krishna is describing the infinite, and his point is to think about, to love the infinite is difficult. I will share more tomorrow. To application, your application was to see the alignment of how this multiverse is guiding us to bhakti. And when you see this alignment, you come to have more faith. Faith in what you can do. More important than that is faith in who you are. Your application for this morning is to engage in paryupasate, which means your thoughts, words, and actions are directed to one of these words. One of these 8 descriptions of the infinite. I want you to think and speak and act towards this. An announcement. I've shared many awesome announcements today about Yugadi, Chinmay Mission Cleveland's ashram, Plant 141, and today is Shankarji's birthday. So we brought in our singing crew for Shankarji's birthday.
What about his birthday card?
Yeah, his birthday card. You can make one. We don't know how old he is because he's Dhruvam, eternal. But we'll all sing for him.
70.
He's 70. I also think he's 70. He runs like he's 70. We're going to try to screen share a birthday prayer from Puja Swami Tejovainanda, and for the sake of simplicity, we'll sing in English. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shankar uncle, who's turned 70 today. Happy birthday to you. Yay.
Happy birthday, Shankar. Are you what? Are you
Ariom, thank you, everyone.
Are you 3? Are you 4? Are you 5? Are you 6? Are you 7? Are you 8? Are you 9?
Okay, all the way to 70, yes. And we pray that you're healthy and happy forever, and all of your family and friends and all of us.
Oh, I see him.
Shanti.
Where?
Shanti.
Where's Shankar?
Shanti.
Happy birthday.
Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.
Shankar, happy birthday. Shankar.